On a rainy morning in 1998, the tranquil village of Portville, Massachusetts, awoke to a strange silence. The latest bull shark attack spread like wildfire, and many were terrified. Once bustling with activity, the beaches were deserted, and fear enveloped the entire neighborhood. Captain Bill Turner was proudly standing on the deck of the Ocean Voyager, a clear indication that his years at sea had taken their toll on his appearance. With each passing day, the bull shark demonstrated a level of cunning that sent shivers down the spines of even the most fearless sailors, as the assaults became increasingly audacious. Dr. Amelia Crane traveled to Portville to fulfill her insatiable curiosity regarding the recent spike in shark activity. Her passion for aquatic life motivated her to research the species, but she couldn't shake the impression that something unsettling awaited her beneath the waves the entire time she was there. Captain Turner stood confidently on the ship's deck on a bright day at sea. Her eyes scanned the horizon for any signs of danger. The state assigned Amelia Crane, a marine biologist, to the crew for a crucial mission. Amelia approached the captain with a sense of purpose. As they exchanged greetings, she emphasized their task's urgency, to end the attacks that had claimed lives. Captain Turner firmly shook Amelia's hand, acknowledging the gravity of the situation. She knew they were not dealing with an ordinary shark. This was different. It was a bull shark, but its behavior was more cunning, operating as a solitary predator rather than part of a group. The two professionals, united by their shared goal, prepared to face the challenges ahead. The safety of the waters and the lives of those on board depended on their expertise and swift action. Together, they set out to confront the intelligent and dangerous bull shark lurking beneath the waves. Their determination to protect and preserve would guide them through the perilous voyage. The crew prepared to set sail as the sun set below the horizon. Among them was Connor Marshall, a young deckhand with much energy and ambition, eager to impress Captain Turner. Fear couldn't keep him down, not when the town's survival depended on their ability to perform the assignment successfully. The ship, the Ocean Voyager, proceeded into far deeper oceans under darkness. The journey was dangerous and nerve-wracking in equal measure. The crew's eyes swept across the dark sea, each ripple accelerating the pace of their hearts. Despite their vigilance, the shark avoided them by always staying one step ahead of them. As the days turned into weeks, the crew's worry grew as each risky situation drove them to the limit of their ability. Dr. Crane's scientific method was at variance with Captain Turner's intuitive sense of the ocean. The degree of frustration mounted, but they knew that to end the dread, they needed to put their differences aside. One night, an unexpected storm pushed the ship through its paces, putting its resiliency to the test. The crew tried everything they could to keep the situation under control as massive waves smashed the deck. The raging sea appeared to be echoing the bull shark's unending wrath. They somehow survived the storm, but it threw them off guard because they knew the shark's revenge was still on the way. Sheriff Sam Mitchell arrived at the pier amid the chaos, determined to keep order and defend the inhabitants of his town. He relayed information about other settlements that had been invaded. Like Portville's, he was giving the idea that this rogue bull shark may be on a devastation mission that stretches well beyond Portville. The level of collaboration between the ship's crew, Dr. Crane, and Sheriff Mitchell rose. They could piece together patterns of the shark's movements to determine when it would strike again. The passage of time gave the perception that their efforts were futile, and the pressure to protect the town grew. When Connor, a teenage deckhand, came across an old notebook in the ship's library, everything changed. It mentioned a legendary shark hunter from a bygone era who fought off a similar threat a century ago. This hunter was a relic from the past. The professional hunter devised a unique plan for luring and capturing lethal sharks. Because of their optimism, the crew devised a plan combining traditional shark hunting knowledge with cutting-edge modern tools. They created an ingenious baiting technique and waited for the bull shark to take the bait before pursuing their objective. Finally, the end of the world arrived. The massive bull shark, drawn to the Ocean Voyager by the perfume of the bait, charged toward the ship with all of its might. When it lunged at the bait, the crew fired their device, causing the predator to become trapped in a net. They were exhausted but triumphant, and they were able to bring the mighty bull shark on board for examination. Dr. Crane's astonishment grew as she got a better look at this magnificent but potentially fatal creature. Even Captain Turner, who had challenged the apex predator, felt admiration for the beast for a brief period. The crew released the bull shark into the water when the sun rose, keeping it away from the Portville coast. They not only saved their town, but they also demonstrated that humans and the environment can coexist peacefully. When the dread buried beneath the tides was eventually extinguished, the town gained a new appreciation for the untamed force of the ocean. Their triumph over the deadliest bull shark attack became a tale passed down from generation to generation. It reminded everyone who heard it of the tenuous interaction between people and the aquatic creatures in the water. A terrible tale of murder and retribution had been passed down through generations in the peaceful and lovely community of Serenity Bay. The villagers heard about a massive bull shark said to be the vengeful soul of a prehistoric species, seeking payback for the cruel treatment inflicted on its kind by fishermen long ago. The peaceful municipality experienced an extraordinary increase in bull shark sightings in 2011. Fear and dread grabbed the residents' hearts as the sharks crept closer to the shoreline, threatening the beloved settlement. In search of a solution, town officials approached Benjamin Ben Reynolds, a seasoned sea captain known for his expertise in navigating treacherous waters and comprehending the ways of the sea. Captain Ben set out on the Serenity Seeker with the sole purpose of unraveling the mystery behind the unusual shark activity and protecting the people from potential danger, accompanied by Dr. Isabella Izzy Bennett, a fearless marine biologist specializing in sharks, and Michael Mike Thompson, a skilled diver and underwater photographer. The crew set out on their voyage as the sun set below the horizon, filling the sky with flaming hues. They set sail into the azure waters, filled with both exhilaration and dread, the salty sea breeze filling their lungs. A government-assigned marine biologist, Amelia Crane, greeted Captain Turner with a cheerful, "Good day." She stated her intention to put a halt to the attacks in order to save more casualties. Captain Turner noted her desperation with a hard handshake and returned the gesture. Captain Turner described the dangers of the situation, emphasizing that they were dealing with a more sophisticated and dangerous bull shark, acting more like a lone predator than as part of a group. The crew had several close encounters with bull sharks as the days moved into nights. Their actions mesmerized Dr. Izzy, who was in awe of their amazing relationships and movements. However, they had the unsettling impression that they were being observed. One evening, as darkness fell and a huge shadow loomed beneath the surface, an enormous bull shark appeared and took the team away. The passage of the shark sent foreboding waves through the water, reminding them of the dreadful fable. They continued their research, determined to find out the truth. Mike photographed the bull sharks throughout their dives, displaying their raw power and natural beauty. However, after studying the tape, he spotted ethereal entities in the backdrop that appeared and vanished like ghostly apparitions, scaring the team. The tension aboard the ship rose as the days passed. Rumors about the furious ghost spread, exacerbating their superstitious concerns. One night, they noticed an unexplained glow beneath the surface, and a luminous ghost in the shape of a massive shark ran towards the boat. The event disturbed and intrigued the crew, prompting them to reconsider the legends they had previously ignored. During their examination, they uncovered a pattern tying the shark movements to an old shipwreck near the town's harbor. Is there a link between the wreckage and the malicious spirit? They decided to investigate the shipwreck in the hopes of finding answers. The crew's underwater lights revealed the eerie ruins of the Vengeance, a once majestic warship, as they plunged into the dark depths. The ship's name sent shivers down their spines, cementing the link between old stories and current occurrences. They discovered relics of shark nets employed by merciless fishermen long ago among the wreckage. The image elicited many emotions, from rage at past violence to compassion for the bull sharks trapped in the nets. In hushed tones, Dr. Izzy theorized that the bull shark's ghost might seek justice for its species. Captain Ben cautioned the company not to lose sight of these beasts' true nature. He underlined that bull sharks were important components of the ecology, and their presence in the area signified a problem. The group devised a plan to lure the bull sharks away from Serenity Bay, and reroute them to a safer habitat where they might thrive without endangering the villagers as a result of their findings. They used acoustic equipment to mimic natural noises, and the sharks appeared to respond to the call as if they were familiar with their relatives' ancient songs. Captain Ben, Dr. Izzy, and Mike successfully kept the bull sharks away from Serenity Bay throughout the night, restoring quiet to the previously ominous seas. After completing the assignment, the team returned to Serenity Bay to discuss their findings with the locals. Mike's compelling images were shown at the community center, and Dr. Izzy detailed their adventures with the bull sharks and the shipwreck. The peasants listened intently, their dread giving way to amazement and reverence for these magnificent creatures. Serenity Bay locals, united in their commitment to conservation, imposed tight fishing regulations to safeguard both humans and marine life. Children were taught the importance of maintaining the delicate oceanic balance through educational initiatives in local schools. Serenity Bay has evolved into a remarkable example of harmonious coexistence between humans and nature over time. Once feared and misunderstood, the bull sharks symbolize the town's newfound appreciation for the ocean's natural beauty. The voyage deeply affected Captain Ben, Dr. Izzy, and Mike. They remained close friends as they embarked on new journeys to explore and safeguard the world's seas. Their story of the vengeful bull shark that led to a successful conservation campaign touched many people's hearts, inspiring them to learn more about the natural world. As the Serenity Seeker made its trips, transporting curious people to new areas, a deep respect for the vast ocean and its unique flora and animals grew. The legend of the strange waters lived on, but not as a terrible story. Instead, it became a moving testimonial to the transformational power of consciousness and empathy. The ocean spoke its ageless mysteries to anyone prepared to listen at dusk over Serenity Bay, calling them into the embrace of the wild. The actual beauty of the world awaited anyone who ventured to journey beyond the horizon, concealed amid the immense blue expanse, waiting to be discovered by those with the guts to investigate. John Andrews, an experienced marine scientist, and Nicole White, a fearless underwater cameraman, were famous for their daring shark encounters. John Andrews was a marine biologist, while Nicole White was an underwater videographer. They embarked on a dangerous journey in the summer of 2002 to get magnificent footage of bull sharks off the coast of an isolated island in the Bahamas. Their goal was to film the sharks while they were feeding. They had chosen the spot for its breathtaking lighthouse, which gave a fascinating backdrop to their expedition. The island was well known for its eerie past, and they had picked it. The history of the island, known as Emberlight Isle, was shrouded in secrecy. In the late 1800s, a lighthouse was built to assist ships in navigating securely across hazardous waters. However, after a severe storm in 1893, the keeper of the lighthouse and his family disappeared for unknown reasons, and the lighthouse has been unoccupied ever since. The locals thought the location was haunted by the specters of the family's deceased members, and some claimed to have heard ghostly mutterings in the night. John, Nicole, and the rest of their crew decided to make the old lighthouse their base of operations. The nearby waters were filled with bull sharks, allowing a fantastic display. On the other hand, as soon as the crew started their dives, an unexpected quarrel emerged. Strange things were happening to them as they explored the island, and the island's spirits appeared upset by their presence there. While Nicole was exploring the depths on one of her dives, her camera caught some eerie views of shadowy beings lurking in the coral reefs. She felt chills run down her spine, but the bull shark's temptation was too strong to resist. The following day, while studying the footage, they saw what appeared to be ghostly figures swirling about the sharks. It was almost as if the departed souls of the lighthouse were reaching out to the living from the afterlife. As their experiences unfolded underwater, the crew's tensions continued to rise. Kevin Gilbert, the seasoned captain of the ship, was certain that the ghosts were trying to forewarn them of an oncoming catastrophe. John and Nicole were adamant that they would finish their project regardless of any interference from the supernatural, even though he strongly encouraged them to leave the island. The group got ready for a night dive on the ill-fated evening when dusk fell upon the island, and as the night progressed, the world beneath the waves came to life with nocturnal critters, while bull sharks prowled the darkness looking for prey. John and Nicole and a few other crew members willing to take a risk plunged into the depths while filming the experience. However, the spirits had other ideas in mind. They were beginning to get further away from the protection of the boat when suddenly a burst of wind caused their underwater lights to flicker and then go out. The divers began to feel anxious and stumbled around in pitch blackness. John's heart raced as he became aware of their menacing presence. The strange glow of the bioluminescent plankton suddenly made the shadowy outlines of swimming bull sharks nearby visible. Nicole's camera captured the subject's blazing eyes, creating a macabre and eerie image. They stayed together and tried to maintain their composure, but the sharks became increasingly anxious as they picked up on the tension in the water. Kevin looked into the gloom above the surface as he prayed for his friends and his safe return. He quickly grabbed a bright floodlight to direct them back to safety. However, when the light source's beam penetrated the water, a large bull shark appeared from the depths and attacked the light source. The level of violence displayed by the shark was unheard of, and it made the entire team uneasy. Both John and Nicole experienced rapid pulse rate increases, but they knew panicking would make the predicament much more dire. They signaled to the crew that they should return to the boat cautiously, hoping to avoid further angering the bull sharks. The sharks continued to follow the divers and circled them with a creepy intelligence, as if otherworldly forces were directing them. As they had almost reached the boat, the largest bull shark in the group, possibly the pack leader, made a daring approach. The animal's sharp teeth briefly grazed Nicole as it lunged at her. The crew reacted swiftly, dragging her away to safety, but the damage had already been done. Nicole's leg was bleeding heavily, and the crew was now in a potentially fatal predicament. Kevin revved up the boat's motor, hoping that the noise would frighten away the sharks, but the alpha shark seemed unfazed. Unfortunately, the beast escaped their grasp despite John, Nicole, and the rest of the crew's best efforts. It appeared the bull shark had a grudge against them, as it attacked them with a persistence inconsistent with their typical conduct. John grabbed a nearby spear gun and fired a shot at the alpha shark, striking it squarely in the flank with the bullet. This was John's last-ditch effort. The injured shark led the other sharks away, and they did the same thing afterward. The crew helped Nicole back on board, and then they sped out in the direction of the lighthouse, which was their destination for safety. The crew did their best to treat Nicole's wounds, and their excitement-filled experience with the bull sharks will remain ingrained in their minds forever. They were all left with a profound impression by the events of that night, which strengthened their faith in the secrets of Emberlight Isle. The viewers were left both enthralled and terrified as they watched the eerie film of the bull shark attack and the bizarre contact with the island spirits shown on the television. An unsettling aspect of nature had been revealed due to John and Nicole's expedition. It involved the mysterious history of Emberlight Isle and how it was connected to bull sharks. In the end, they concluded that they would not go back to Emberlight Isle. The eerie recollections of that night would stay with them for the rest of their lives, serving as a reminder of the mysteries that lay just below the surface of our world and are just waiting to be uncovered by courageous and curious people.